Las pesas son amigas de los fisicoculturistas. Los libros son amigos de los sabios. ¿Me entiendes? El silencio es la paz de Dios. Es la voz, la paz.
Welcome back, guys. Today we're taking a look at Campeon. He's a lifter I see all the time on TikTok. I compiled a whole, I've got some legs, I got some chest, some shoulders, some arms. We're going to take a look at it and kind of critique his training style. Let's have a look. There's a lot of unique lifting styles out there, but I have never seen anyone use 3 lifting belts at the same time. That is crazy. Now, firstly, I'm not trashing anyone that wants to lift however they feel their best. But wearing 3 belts, strapping the plates on to barely lift it, it may feel empowering for this guy, but it's not going to get you results. You're gonna injure yourself. Now, the first thing you could notice is he's not the biggest guy in the gym. He's in good shape, but for someone that's lifting so much weight, why is he not bigger? And you see a lot of this kind of stuff in the gym where people lift way too heavy, but this guy seems to be selling plans where people want to learn how to lift like this. It blows my mind. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of the legs. So the first thing I can't help but notice is the fact that he's wearing a belt on a Smith squat. So it's almost like wearing it on a leg press. It's just it's just almost pointless. And then you've got the knee straps. He's got 200 kg on there, and it's just knee presses. There's no squat. It's just a couple of knee bends. There's probably way more stress on his knees than any muscle in this movement. Now let's take a look at some chest. Now in this scenario, he's actually got the full stretch. So he's actually starting at the full stretch, which will actually be stimulating some sort of chest. The problem is he's not doing enough with it. And in my opinion, with all of that swinging and then real cut off squeezes, it's impossible for him not to be using his shoulder right here. Now, of course, a very crucial slap from the belt. Every serious lifter does this. All right, we're onto the incline press machine. We've got an unfathomable amount. 140, 60, 80, 120, 140, 160. He's got 160 kilogram bench press, which is more like a full body thrust. Again, he's starting at full range. I guess if we're looking to be positive. It honestly blows my mind watching stuff like this. Because surely in your head you know this can't be right. This can't be right. If I can't lift the full range, why am I doing this? Now, I'm not making this video in attempt to save people from training like this because of him. I don't think anyone's watching this and assuming it's smart. But just in case you are, please guys, you need to be able to stretch the muscle and fully extend, or at least halfway, at least. But let's move on to some shoulders. Let's take a look what he does for a lateral raise.
Campeon, permítame.
Now in this one, he probably is actually stimulating some sort of muscle because it seems like he's controlling it a little bit. But it goes without saying, you don't need to be... I can't believe I'm about to say this. You don't need to lateral raise 100 kg. This style of training comes from one big issue that will never leave the gym, and it's ego. And I found a clip here I'm about to prove to you. This guy is about to do upright rows with, I think it's 100, something like this. And this guy cannot stop looking around. He does a rep, He's checking someone's looking. Does a rep. He's checking someone's looking. All right, so it's 100 kg. Now keep a look in his eyes. He looks again. Another quick look. Stares again. Again. Ridiculous. And that wasn't enough. He needs more weight. He can barely deadlift it, but he thinks he's gonna upright row it. It's not going anywhere.
Es que un día me tengo que hacer con los tres, pero así.
So at least he's acknowledging that he needs to go higher. That's interesting. And now we got some shrugs with every weight you could find. And guys, if you can barely deadlift the weight you want to shrug or row or anything, it's too heavy because your deadlift is using everything. If you can't pick it into position, you can't maintain position. Like, it's really simple.
Cheat reps, also known as ego lifting.
Go first.
It is a journey without an end or a purpose. When you think it through, cheat reps are stupid on almost all counts. You end up having a higher probability of injury, a lower probability of stimulating the target muscle, and a very difficult time tracking.
I agree that they're overrated. I think for the most part, people should use good technique. I would argue that on certain exercises, for example, bicep curls, if doing a little bit of cheating and slight momentum allows you to get another rep and then you control the eccentric, that might be an extra controlled eccentric that you wouldn't have gotten if you hadn't used that little bit of momentum. So I think that they can have some value, but I would still say overall, mostly overrated.
But this kind of ego lift discussion is vast. Some people say that it's crucial, or you can apply it in ways to actually benefit, like cheating up to a certain point to then get the negative out of it, like to get more out of the eccentric part of the movement. But in the grand scheme of things, you need to start with good form. If you fall into cheat form and it's safe, go ahead. But you can't start a movement with the intentions of cheating. So with that all being said, let's take a look at his bicep workout.
Ay, gracias porque nunca me consintieron mis pendejadas.
Now, of course, we need to be striving to lift heavy weight, but when it comes to isolation exercises, biceps, triceps, medial delts, even like lateral raises, a light weight where you can completely isolate that muscle is gonna build you more muscle for sure. Like, I'm sick of seeing all this swinging, all this crazy shit when it comes to curls and stuff. I promise you guys, if you're new in the gym, start off lighter and understand how to use the muscle. Understand how to feel it first. And if you can still feel it at that heavy weight, keep going heavier. But you will get to a point eventually where you no longer feel that muscle anymore with that heavier weight. That's your sign. Okay, let me stay here for a minute, improve the form, get stronger, and attempt that again in a couple of weeks. But let's stop swinging. Now, he has to be riddled with injuries, honestly. Guys, it's just another example of ways you shouldn't be training. If you want to take a look at my no BS muscle building blueprint, it's on my website. Check it out. It's completely free. It's going to give you all the important information. But my best advice is start slow. Make sure you can feel the target muscle. If you don't feel it, we don't need to keep going heavy. But that's it for today. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Before I fall to the system, I'm gonna try and do good with my gifting and pray to the Lord for some wisdom. Pray. Hopefully someone will listen. Amen.